going to go for a little while to represent the United States at the Ryder Cup, which is very exciting. And we'll be watching that. This is Kai, by the way, in case you didn't know. How are you? And we'll be watching a little golf. I think we have maybe a deal on Gaza, very close to a deal on Gaza. How are you? Hello, Peter. And it's looking like we have a deal on Gaza. And we'll let you know. I think it's a deal that will get the hostages back. It's going to be a deal that will end the war. It's going to be a deal which it's going to be peace. I think we have a deal. That'll be number 8, Peter. Not 10. Mr. President, I'm James Comey. Now that James Comey.
We're just interrupting that coverage there. Let's have a listen to Donald Trump, who's currently speaking.
These were corrupt, radical left Democrats, because Comey essentially was he was worse than a Democrat. I would say the Democrats are better than Comey. But no, there'll be others. Look, that's my opinion. They weaponized the Justice Department like nobody in history. What they've done is terrible. And so I hope there are others, because you can't let this happen to a country.
And will you appoint a permanent U.S. attorney to try this case? Lindsey Halligan has never tried a case.
Well, we'll see, but it's a pretty easy case because, look, he lied. You saw my truth today. He lied. It was yes, no. He didn't say, well, in my opinion, he didn't do a lot of things that maybe he should have, but I don't think he could because he lied. That was a very important question that he was asked, and he wanted to be specific, but he didn't. The only thing that happened to him, he didn't think he'd get caught. But that answer that he gave, that was a very important answer, and it was for him, it was a very good answer if he didn't get caught. But he got caught lying to Congress.
How is this not politicizing the President, he met the Australian vote. President Trump, are you worried now that the next time there's a Democratic president, they will indict your FBI director or people in your administration?
That's what they tried to do, right? They did it with me. For 4 years, they went after me. They went after me for 4 years, and that doesn't include the 4 great years that we had in the White House. So when I ran it from, 2016 when we won, it began before I got to office. You know that. Wait a minute. Before I came to office, I started hearing rumors about Russia. I said, what the hell do I have to do with Russia? Nothing. And then it got worse and worse, and some of the fakers, not you, but some of the fake news picked it up and they loved it. And we went through a long time with that. And despite that, we had a great first term.
Because that's how it went, where they made you go and take a mugshot. Is this more about justice or is it about revenge?
It's about justice, really. It's not revenge. It's about justice. It's also about the fact that you can't let this go on. They are sick, radical left people, and they can't get away with it. And Comey was one of the people. He wasn't the biggest, but he's a dirty cop. He's always been a dirty cop. Everybody knew it. And it's, as far as the case is concerned, he gave an answer. It was a strong answer. He then verified it a couple of times because that was a very important answer. If he would have equivocated, if he would have been like a little bit less sure, that would have been very bad for him. So he gave an answer. The only problem is for him, he didn't think he'd be caught, and he got caught, Peter. This is about justice. He lied a lot, but this was a very important thing. He could have said, well, maybe, or I don't remember. He didn't say that. He gave a very specific answer, and then he verified it numerous times, and he got caught. The problem that Comey has is he got caught lying, and he was very strong. It's not like, well, maybe, or I don't remember, or he gave a very specific answer because it was a very powerful question, a very important question. And when he gave the answer, the only problem is he got caught. So.
Mr. President. Are you worried about American workers suffering if the government shuts down
do you have plans to come in?
Well, we're going to see, but the radical left Democrats want to shut it down. I mean, it's up to them. We have a great economy going. You saw the numbers yesterday. They're fantastic. The economy's doing well. Prices are down. We have virtually no inflation. Everything's going good. We're respected by every nation in the world. And you know what happened? The Democrats want to shut it down. And they want to shut it down because they want to give billions, ultimately trillions of dollars to illegal migrants, people that came into our country illegally. Some of those people are criminals, but they came into our country illegally, and they want to give them the essential over years, trillions of dollars, and our people aren't going to stand for it. They also want to have open borders. They want to have men and women's sports. They want to have transgender for everybody. These people are crazy, the Democrats. So if it has to shut down, it'll have to shut down. But they're the ones that are shutting down.
You're listening there to President Donald Trump just on the lawn of the White House. What he usually does when he comes out and sees the press, he addresses their questions. And just before he discussed the internal American politics about the Democrats and immigration and the economy, he spoke there about Gaza, the issue we're covering here this morning from the UN General Assembly. We just heard Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, speak. A little earlier, Donald Trump, in that same briefing that he was giving the press, he spoke about the situation in Gaza. Let's just play that clip.
I think we have maybe a deal on Gaza, very close to a deal on Gaza. How are you? Hello, Peter. And it's looking like we have a deal on Gaza. And we'll let you know. I think it's a deal that will get the hostages back. It's going to be a deal that will end the war. It's going to be a deal which it's going to be peace. I think we have a deal. That'll be number 8, Peter. Not bad.
That was Donald Trump speaking there, and as you heard him say, it looks like we have a deal on Gaza. He was speaking to Arab leaders, Muslim leaders here at the UN General Assembly over the course of the last few days, and gave them certain reassurances about annexation of the West Bank, concerns that Israel was planning to annex the West Bank. He also spoke to them about ending the Israeli onslaught in Gaza, and we've heard that fiery speech from the Israeli Prime Minister, but Donald Trump there standing firm. He is due to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu on Monday, and there is hope that he will very firmly tell Benjamin Netanyahu that enough is enough. That is the expectation of Arab leaders. But we have also seen this situation in the past where reassurances have been given. There has been talk of a hostage deal, a ceasefire deal, and unfortunately hasn't come to fruition. So perhaps this time it is different. That is what Muslim and Arab leaders are expecting. They say they have received reassurances from Donald Trump. Let's go back to our Mark Stone, who is with some of the demonstrators here in New York. Mark, back to you. And of course, we heard there from Donald Trump, who says that it looks like we have a deal in Gaza. We'll have to wait and see that crucial meeting. And of course, it's Friday. That's a long time for Benjamin Netanyahu to be here in the United States. He has been known to flip and change Donald Trump's mind in the past. But Arab leaders say they're hopeful that this time Donald Trump is committed to bringing this war to an end.
Yeah, there definitely seems to be a momentum now. Have a look, the protesters here, they have a momentum as well. They've moved now from Times Square and they're making their way towards where you are at the UN headquarters in Midtown along the East River there. I reckon there are about 2,000 or so. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's certainly grown in number over the course of the morning. None, incidentally, listening to what, well, no one I could see anyway, listening to what the Prime Minister, what Netanyahu was saying in the chamber of the General Assembly there. I think what they would say is that they've heard all that he has to say. They are clearly all united in condemnation of what they believe is a genocide in Gaza. We have seen people here, indeed the person you saw me interviewing just before you went to Donald Trump, is Jewish. And there are a large number of Jewish people here. Among others, there are Palestinians, there are people here from all around the world, all of them raising their voice for what they see unfolding in Gaza. And I was talking to one person off camera earlier on who was making the point that look, lots of things can be true at the same time. It can be true that Israel has degraded the terror networks around the Middle East, whether it be Hezbollah or in Lebanon, or whether it be Iran. Many people around the world would see them as malign terror networks. Israel has degraded them. It can also be true that they are committing a genocide in Gaza, and that is what many people here believe is happening. Back to Donald Trump's point, though, Yalda, I mean, you and I we've talked over the course of this week. We've been here before. There have been false dawns on Gaza and the prospects of a ceasefire, of the hostages coming home, nearly 50 of them, perhaps half of those still alive. There have been false dawns before, but there really feels like there is some energy now, some momentum now. The president, the American president, clear that he does not want to see annexation of the West Bank. It must be said that, in a sense, annexation is already taking place in the West Bank in all but name, undermining the prospects of a two-state solution. But there is momentum now in terms of a ceasefire in Gaza. The Arab nation seems to be behind this 21-point plan that Trump has put forward. Countries like Indonesia seems to be involved as well, perhaps Muslim peacekeepers on the ground from countries like Indonesia. We're seeing momentum here. I think this is a pivotal moment. Netanyahu at the White House on Monday. Lots to look out for in the days ahead, Yalda.
Mark, thank you so much. That's our Mark Stone on the streets of New York, where he says up to 2,000 people have gathered to demonstrate against Benjamin Netanyahu's speech, his presence here in the United States. We'll be watching all of the developments. And as we said, the crucial meeting between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu taking place on Monday in Washington, D.C. The Muslim world, the Arab world, the international community is holding its breath to see whether Donald Trump is able to put the kind of pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu to bring this war to an end. I've been told by leaders in the region that Donald Trump has said that enough is enough, that he won't be asking Benjamin Netanyahu, he'll be telling him what the plan is going forward. We'll have to see whether that actually happens. We'll have full coverage for you throughout the weekend and on Monday. But from me and the team here in New York, that's it for now. Back to you in the studio.